Hello, friends. Welcome to my channel. We will learn about various statistical software. I will start with Stata, which is a popular statistical tool widely used for data analysis. So, very first video is about the introduction. We will also actually cover importing different type of data sets, using different type of statistics, also preparation of graphs, charts, and maps, etc., visualization, etc., using Stata. So, welcome and keep watching my channel. Thank you so much. Hello, friends. My name is Vishal. We will learn about statistical software Stata in this session. We'll have a series of videos on Stata. I'll start with first video, which will be more introductory in nature. So we will try to understand. I mean, what exactly is Stata and how exactly. I mean, it helps in statistical analysis or various things that one wants to do. So I have already Stata latest version of Stata installed on my laptop. I'll open it here. This is the icon. So this is Stata. I mean, when you open it, it will give you, different blocks within the window. So you can see the licensing information here, and also this is actually history window. So whatever command we run, all this actually is reflected, shown here actually in the history. This window is more about actually, data set that we will load actually in the system. So it will show, names of the variables and variable labels, etc. Once we load the data set, we'll know more about actually, this particular thing. And then for each variable within a data set, we can know the properties of that particular variable. So whether the variable is numeric or a string or the type of variable, etc. So we know name, label, type, format, value label, and if there are any other notes, or if you want to write any notes about the variable properties, when you can actually see it, or can be displayed here. So what we will do, so these are the basic windows within the main screen. On the top, you can see, there are different menu, which is like file. So we can actually, open a new do file. Do file is a script file. So Stata has a dataset file, which is normally, I mean, so do file are there actually script files, and then we'll also have different type of files that we can actually import in the Stata system. You can actually directly import data from an Excel file or a text file. For example, your data is in a text file or tab delimited file or CSV file. You can easily download it. You can easily import it actually in the Stata. Similarly, if your data is in SPSS, which is actually a statistical package for social sciences. If you have SPSS save files, you can actually import save files or SAS data file or any other format which otherwise actually, you have the data. If you have data in DBase, or you have data in any other form, ODBC, etc. You can actually easily import them here. Similarly, once you have worked on Stata, and you want to take this data to some other software or some other tool, you can actually easily export that data in various formats. Yeah. So basic principle, always, when we start working, we should definitely try to create a directory of where exactly we want to work within the data set. I'll talk about this later in more detail. We also try to create a log and begin doing. So whatever we do, I mean, we should actually start, uh, creating uh, a log file, so that I mean, whatever we have done, I mean, it's saved somewhere, so that you can actually always see and reproduce or do check actually that particular thing. Okay. um, so what we'll do, I mean, to begin, I mean, we will actually import some existing data. So Stata itself has, I mean, a lot of example data sets in it. I mean, once you install Stata, any version, I mean, mine is actually 18.5, but I mean, if you install 15, 16, or any other version, 17, I mean, you will have example data sets. So you can actually, when you click there, I mean, you can easily, I mean, browse those data sets which are actually already there. So I mean, these are example data sets installed with Stata, and then because Stata 18 also have a manual for data learning. So because I mean, all this data documentation which is given actually in the form of help or whatever, I mean, they have the manual data sets as well here. So we will import one of the file from the example datasets, or and some of these files are very common. I mean, if you want to use R, or if you want to use any other statistical tool, I mean, you will find same in that particular format. So like auto.dta is very popular data sets, I mean, which you can see in other softwares as well. So here, I mean, if it is .dta, like I mean, .xls is the extension for Excel, or .sav is extension for SPSS. .dta is the extension for stata data file. .do file is actually the script file, and .dta is the data file. So what we'll do, we'll use this particular data. Okay, auto.dta. We'll go back to the window. So we can see that, I mean, log file has already created this history. I mean, because I mean, we use the data from system, so it is, the command is sysuse auto.dta. So it has actually taken the data from system use sysuse directory and auto.dta. I mean, if you have any other existing data, you can actually always, we will talk about actually there, I mean, how to import in the later part, or in the subsequent video. But because I mean, that requires actually creating a working directory and keeping the data there, and then from importing the data from there, because I mean, you'll have to write the entire path. I mean, that will take you to the data, because I mean, that command. But right now, I mean, we are using I mean, system given sample example dataset. So that's why, I mean, this command. Yeah, we can actually also import data from web. So there is a provision. We'll talk about actually how web data are actually used in Stata. In this particular data sets, I mean, as I said, I mean, there are different, this particular window is history. I mean, you can see that, I mean, this is it has started I mean, recording the commands, and whatever we do, we write that command here. Yeah, for example, I mean, if I just click here, you can see that, I mean, says use auto.dta is here. I mean, if I, so it is actually, rerun that particular command once again. We'll talk about other commands as well. I mean, stata is all about actually, I mean, you can actually run the commands directly from here, or you can actually write the commands here and then run that particular thing. So it's a combination of both. I mean, you can actually use click method to select the procedure or select the thing that you want, and then accordingly run that. In this particular case, now we have actually already loaded the data. So this particular area, I mean, gives all the variables in that particular data sets. There are that variables like make, price, mpg, rep78, and all this. These are the data variables actually which are already given, and then you can see variable label here. Yeah. And then each variable also will have some property. For example, I mean, if I click make, I mean, it says str18, which means, I mean, it's a string variable. Yeah. And if I click price, it is actually an integer, int, a numeric variable. Similarly, if I click foreign, I mean, it is again something which is byte, so it is actually a coded variable. There is also one peculiar thing. I mean, when we browse the data, we can browse the data directly from here, or we can just write here. So, I mean, I'll just type it here. Yeah. When we, so this gives all the variables which are actually also reflected shown here, and also, I mean, various values. So in this particular case there are 74 cases, and yeah, I mean, now you can see there are certain variables which are red, there are certain variables which are blue, and there are certain variables which are black. So if there is a string variable, if there is a string variable in your data, in this particular case, make is a string variable, it will show while browsing, it will show you in red color. So remember this, that I mean, if it is a string variable, it will be shown while browsing as red. If it is a numeric variable, it will all be black. If a numeric variable is actually coded, for example, I mean, in this case foreign is a numeric variable, but it is coded as domestic and foreign, two categories. So it is given here as blue color. So these three color codes are very important. I mean, because when with the look, while looking at the data, you can actually understand, I mean, which variable is string or which variable is numeric, or which is coded or which is not. Okay. So, I mean, we've spoken about, the windows here. I'll close. I will go back to the original tab. Um, if you want, you can actually also browse specific variables. For example, p or ow. I see browse make mpg, and here I think one thing, it is very important that Stata is also case sensitive. So whatever variable is given, like, I mean, all are in a small, so I mean, we have to write accordingly. I mean, you can actually always do it directly from here. I mean, I'll also show you that, but right now let's see, I mean, what does it show. I want to browse only make mpg and foreign, and all other variables can remain in the background. So while browsing, I mean, it is showing only these three variables which I have chosen to browse. We can also pick it from here. You can see these clickable. For example, I mean, if I add weight also in this one, so it has added weight as well. So we can actually always choose what are the variables, I mean, that we want in our data sets. Okay, so I was also saying that, I mean, you can actually always browse the data from this tab. So if you click here, data editor, and then browse, it will show. I mean, since, I mean, I have run that particular thing, I mean, so I'll have to select all the variables. Okay, is that clear? So now let's move to, I mean, what all can be done. I mean, so as I said, I mean, you can actually import data from Excel, text data, spaces, SAS, ODBC, or any other kind of format to Stata, and you can actually also export your data from this format to any other format. I hope this is clear. We can actually also look at actually, I mean, what is available in other tabs. Um, we can actually combine different types of data sets in and or append. I mean, if the variables are same, we can actually always append more cases. So, looking at the properties of the data, I mean, we can actually always merge two or multiple data sets and make one. Uh, Here it is actually describing the data in a memory, data editor, data utility. I think the most important thing that I mean people want to do is actually statistics. So different types of statistics, whether it is a summary table or test or different type of models, linear regression or any time series analysis or any other. I mean, high end could be actually ANOVA, could be structural equation modeling, or could be any other multivariate analysis. So we can actually, I mean, always run those. I mean, once you have the data. But I mean, remember one thing that I mean, all these statistical methods also require variables to be in a specific format. So while running a particular method, I mean, we need to make sure that I mean our dependent or independent variables follow the kind of requirement that that particular method requires. So I mean, once you reach at that level, I mean, or in other future videos, we'll talk about actually those. You can actually always run different type of graphics. We can create I mean bar chart, pie chart, box chart, or even maps actually. I mean, so friends, I mean, this is introductory video, and we'll also have I mean other video in this series. I mean, the next such video is actually, I mean, playing with different types of data set and importing them in Stata. But I hope you liked this particular thing. Thank you so much. Keep following. Keep I mean, do subscribe to my channel, and yeah, I mean, if you like it, please do write your comments. Thank you so much.